Take the line
Bring it back.
from the Eagles category.
Touch the grass. Give him a
Oh, it should be good to go. It should be good
For
to go.
years,
Hold
I
on.
watched a Christian go, claim it. I go, what the hell does that mean? Claim it. Claim the lottery. Claim it. Claim everything. Couldn't you just claim everything? And you know you don't get it. Like, when are you going to claim stuff and realize, well, damn, I claimed that and I did not get it? None of that. You don't realize any of that? I claimed that job. You didn't get that job.
Right.
So then why did you do that then? There's no reason to do it. You claiming something means nothing. God doesn't know you. You claim it in the name of Jesus. Claim this job, claim this car, claim this vacation. Who cares what you want? You want to be in the UPK, and I'm kicking you out of here.
That's right.
So don't you understand? What you want doesn't even matter. Keep going.
Come. Slug it, sir. And in thy name have cast out devils.
Oh man, hallelujah. Hashkalababa, thou art loosed. Hashkalababa, shabababa. Oh, I cast out that. I rebuke you. I rebuke you, demon. And then on Judgment Day, while Christ leaves you here to die, you will say, didn't I cast out devils in your name? Didn't I prophesy in your name? Keep going.
And in thy name done many wonderful works.
Oh my God, I did so many wonderful works. I went over and I donated to the orphanage. And I did this and I helped the homeless people. That's a wonderful thing. God bless you. Claim it in the name of Jesus. You went over there and you helped them homeless people and you gave out money at the orphanage and you put money in that little thing at Christmas time that the dirty Santa Claus has out in front of the stores. What is that? The people who ask for your money Christmas time. The Salvation Army. You went over to the dirty Santa Claus and you put money in that thing and you're like, I'm a good person. Jesus, I'm going to heaven. I put money in that dirty Santa Claus bucket. I am a good person. Why am I going to die here in America? Why am I going to die in the UK, in the West Indies? Why am I going to die when Christ returns? I don't understand this, Lord. That's what you'll say in that day. Keep going.
Con, verse 23. And then will I profess unto them.
Then he professes something to you. And he tells you something. You had a lot to say about how godly you were, didn't you? You had a lot to say. Well, on that day, he's going to say something. And this is what he's going to say. Read.
Con. I never knew you.
So what you think is, no one cares about you. And you got to face that. All right, we're supposed to be in the truth, are we not? All right, then who cares what you want? You women, you don't want your man to have another wife. Who cares? Who cares what you want? Why do you think that matters so much? You don't want him to have another wife. To you, that's like the biggest thing in the world. I don't want you. Who gives a F what you want? You don't get everything you want. Don't we all know that? Your husband wishes he was an engineer and a doctor. He's not. Right? He wishes he had a brand new Lexus every goddamn day. He doesn't. No one gets everything they want. Damn, we don't know that yet. I'm going to show you because you want to sit in our high holy days and go to our barbecues and marry our sisters, and you are not going to be allowed to. You're going to get kicked out of this school. It's going to happen to you, and on that day you'll go, well, didn't I go to camp? Didn't I guard at the camp? Didn't I do this? Who gives a damn? You know how vast the duties are in the UPK? You know how heavy the burden is to make the kingdom of heaven? You're not up to it, Up. You're not up to it, and you got to go. But let's move on. Any other questions online? Go ahead. Mike, you got that list of people for me?
Yeah.
All right, hang on to it, all right? If you don't mind. I think, is that it or no?
Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Do what?
Depart from me.
Just get away from me. Ye that what?
Ye that work iniquity.
Ye that think something.
Ye that work iniquity.
He whose thoughts were this.
Ye that work iniquity.
He whose dreams were that.
Work iniquity.
This is what you'll see after tonight, right? God cares about what you do. Right? What you do matters. Right? So although you think so highly of yourself, I know you are just a child of God, and He listens to all your prayers. You think God is like this every night, listening to your prayers, don't you? Go, tell me. And what else do you want? What color you want? You want the red one or the blue? Okay, you want a house? You want a big front yard? Okay, tell me more. You think God is sitting, listening to all your stupid prayers about lust and all of the gain and money you want? You think He's with you with every scratch off, sitting there watching you? Tell me what else you need. Oh, you want? Oh, I didn't know you wanted that. Write this down, angels. He wants a new one. His transmission went out. He needs a new transmission, y'all. Get down there. Deal with that. F you. What do you think you even are? Who cares about your transmission and your problems? And all of your woman problems you think are the biggest problems in the damn earth. All because she doesn't want you to have another wife. So, of course, the world is ended for you. Your wife doesn't clap and celebrate every time you go have sex with some slut. I'm sorry. She should be a better woman. She should applaud and clap every time she goes in your phone and finds you on blackplanetpage.com surfing for whores. She should support you. She should go buy the first drink on your date. She should pay for the appetizers on your date with the whore. Because if she doesn't, you just are just destroyed in your mind. You make me sick. And I've suffered you for too long. And thank the Lord, Commander General Yohana has freed me in North Carolina. And I am going to exercise the authority He gives me until I am satisfied, until I am full. Next question.
Come on. There was a question online. Who are the witnesses in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 3?
Judah and Israel. Next.
Come on. Salakia, sir. There was a question, Salakia. Sir, what exactly would be a good example of worshiping or being obsessed with women?
Worshiping or idolizing women is when you compromise what is right to get a woman, right? If you have a woman who has cheated on you, using your term, meaning she's committed adultery, she's had sex with another man, and then you take her back, you have compromised your honor and your dignity for her, which means she is now an idol to you. You worship her, right? There's nothing that she could do to offend you, even down to performing oral sex on strange men. You will kiss her after that. You will blame yourself. You will say, well, maybe it's not true. If you find pictures of your wife with another man and the baby and some other man's calling your child his child, that is his child. Done. That's all. It's his. She called him daddy. That's his kid. Done. Shalom. Goodbye. And if you don't do that, you are disgusting and you worship that woman and not God. If you leave the truth for your woman, because your woman wants you to go join the IUIC because they are purple and gay, and you don't have to worry about them wanting women. That is your last problem. Now, men and killing you, yeah, that you got to worry about. It might just kill you, you might catch them with a man or a transsexual. I'm not making it up. It's online. You might have to worry about that, but you won't have to worry about him saying, this is my new wife. That problem you won't have to deal with. A lot of you women, you want your husband to leave one West because we believe in having more than one wife, and we don't give a damn that you don't like it, right? If you leave the truth for her, she's your God. If you're a man and you can't even choose your own God, damn, America gives you the freedom of religion. Do you know the white man doesn't decide what religion you're in, but your wife does? Your wife will not let you join the UPK. She won't let you. And what do? Obey her? America can't stop you. But your wife can stop you from having the God of your own choice. She's your God. There's 1,000 other things, but you get the point. When you just compromise what's right so much to that, the only thing that matters is pleasing her. And sisters, I know there are men that are like that. And that's usually the kind that you want. The kind that would just choose. He'll join the Israelite group of your choosing, and the one that you like, and he'll do what you want. And a real One West sister is not attracted to a man like that. Real UPK sisters don't like a man that would bow to their liking. They don't want that. Sisters in the school don't like that. Real sisters, the ones that are going to stay in here, aren't like that. You understand? Next question.
Oh, Khan. This is a question from Officer Thabawan out of California. Shalom, sir. Salaki, if I may, who is Amalek in Genesis chapter 14? If this is before Esau's time and his descendants.
Let me hear it, please. Give me the name. And usually when you read names and it's not that Amalek or that Jesus, it's just a different one. And usually you just have to look it up.
Verse 7.
You know who Amalek is, and the children of Amalek coming out of Moses, right? When Moses, not coming out of Moses, but in the story of the Exodus, the Amalekites went and killed the people at the end of our caravan, our elderly, our weak, the people that couldn't walk fast enough to be in the front. Amalek killed them. Amalek is the so-called Jew that the Bible speaks of. They have 12 tribes, just like we have 12 tribes. Every nation has its own tribes, right?
Come on.
And that's Amalek. Let me hear what you have right here.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis chapter 14 and verse 7.
Is this air on up? You can rock and roll it, all right? Go ahead.
And they returned and came to En Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites and also the Amorites that dwelt.
Is this them coming out of is this the Israelites coming out of Egypt? Who is it? Who is this doing the smiting?
This is the days, it's like it says, verse 1, and it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Ariat, king of Elisar. This is, I think, Sodom. So Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 2, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah.
If it's spelled exactly the same as Amalek, then it's a different Amalek. It's who Amalek was named after. Get the point. And sometimes you can read the Bible and think that one person had the same name because you think of it kind of like a fictional book. You know, like in, Superman, there's one Clark Kent, there's one this and that. But the Bible is not a fictional book, so there are many people with the same name, just like there are a lot of Michaels and Georges and Marks. And, you give them a point. There are many people, there are many Jesuses in the Bible, about 4 of them. Many Pauls, many Sauls, many Marys, a ton of Marys in the Bible, all right? So when you read about someone with the same name, if it's before he was born, and it's not him, it's someone who he was named after. Just like Peter and Paul and Mark are walking around here today, named after someone that lived a long time ago. All right, next.
We got a question from Officer Sadat. Salaki, so can I get a breakdown on Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 26? This is the book of Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life.
This is talking about whores, young man. That's what this is about. Once again, it's when a man, this is what you have to fight to be able to be in the UPK and to make the kingdom. You're going to have to fight your lust. You have a lust in you that's disgusting and that the Christian church promotes, cultivates. But in the UPK out, you can't be a man that follows your lust. And here's what you don't know, and this is so hard to understand for a lot of you whore lovers and child molesters in this room and out the room. What you don't know is this. A filthy, lustful man doesn't even deserve a woman. That's what you don't get. Like in your mind, because you want one so bad, that is reason enough to get one. You think a woman is just, like this cup or a glass of wine or something, which is what the Bible says, that you turn her into a bottle of wine. That's not what she is. She's not that. You think just simply desiring a woman gives you the right to have her. And it does not. Cowards don't deserve women. Do you understand? If you're a coward, you just shouldn't get a woman because you're an effing coward. And you shouldn't be with a woman, someone's daughter. Someone's daughter. You should have someone's daughter. And you're someone that have sex with prostitutes in the back of your car, and I have to give you my daughter who I raised up to be pure and innocent and fought through all trouble to raise a young woman that I could be proud of. And what do? Give her to you and you have sex with sluts you meet on Facebook? Cowards don't deserve women. You just shouldn't get one. You should not have a woman, and you're not going to get one in here. I'm Rockefeller, have a while y'all show. A lot of you, listen, man, before I go into all this stuff I got to go into my topic, you should leave the truth tonight. I'm just telling you out of love. It's the best thing for you. Otherwise, I got to go through all of this mess, all of this, and do all of this. Then I might just publicly shame you in front of everybody. Just go on Facebook and just tell everybody what you've done. And just not even give a damn and not care about you at all. Why go through that? If you know what you're doing secretly at home, you should know General Yohana already knows. You think you're so secretive. You think you're a spy, don't you? You think you have absolute secrets that no one knows. Meanwhile, your wife types in your birthday on your phone and gets in your stupid ass phone. You call, how does she know? She knows your birthday. She knows the child's birthday, your daughter's birthday. That's how she knows. She doesn't work for the FBI. She just knows your daughter's birthday. It wasn't that hard to get into your phone. No, everyone knows you. Everyone sees what you do. You should lead the truth. You should just lead the truth and go into the world. Who knows, man? Maybe you become a famous rapper. It could happen. You might get a record deal. It could happen. But this is what will not happen. You will never thrive in here. You will never grow in here. We don't allow pedophiles in here. We don't allow men that would shame and dishonor us. You think we want the kind of men that are in the IUIC in here? Transsexual lovers, pedophiles, rapists? No. Why put me through the kind of trouble that I'm going to have to go through? And then what if I physically harm you, which I don't want to do? I don't want to do something like that because that's wrong to do something like that to you. Now here we are all involved in all of this thing. Why do that then when you could just leave the truth? You know where the door is. I'll turn my back for 10 minutes if you want. I'll go in the office. And then by the time I come back out, you could all be gone. That's up to you. You might find that it's better to do than to think that you can go and get prostitutes and rock a UPK cover and go stand next to us at camp. Everyone looking at you knows that you are the guy who's on that website trying to find someone's child to destroy. You can't do that here, Rock, and the repercussions are more than you can bear. Next. Let me know how much time I have so I can. Okay, about 15 more minutes. Go ahead.
Sir. Got some questions online from Officer or Warrior Salakia General. Can I get a breakdown on the word virgin in Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4? I understand men cannot be virgins. Just want to be able to break this down when someone says a man can accord.
Go ahead.
Salakia, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth.
All right. What you want to do is go to the book of Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, where the Most High calls us his wife. Right. This is a metaphor. Right. You go to the book of Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. Also, you want to look up Ayasha. They shall no more call him Ishi, but call him Ayash. Or they shall no more call him this, but call him Ishi. Right? That's in the Old Testament, I believe. The Most High calls himself the husband of Israel. And he also says that we have played the harlot against him. It's a metaphor to describe our relationship. It's a teaching tool. You understand? You can certainly understand the pain that you feel when a woman betrays you and sleeps with another man. But you do not understand the pain the Most High feels when you worship another God. To make you understand, he compares it to you being his wife and you committing adultery, all right? I believe it's Jeremiah 3. Is that right? Go ahead and read it.
The book. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 1. They say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Meaning, it's like, no one would take a woman back who sleeps with another man. No one would ever do that. Keep going.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
What's the land? Her body. Her body is the land that is dirty now. It's polluted. You wouldn't plant your seed there again. No man would do that. Keep going.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
Read that again.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
But we have played the harlot with many lovers. We played the harlot with Islam, with the Catholic Church, with the Baptist Church, with the Episcopalians. What's those churches that just get up and dance like crazy? Pentecostal, with crazy churches. Holiness. Let's see, damn, what is this church? This church is just, everybody just screams. Everybody just gets up and just screams. A lot of you Haitians with the church with the snake, they do the snakes up here. They got one out where they just playing with snakes for 2 hours.
In Virginia, West Virginia. So.
Come on up. It's a church. You walk in there, they pull out the snakes. That's it. They get them out. You're ready for church. Thank you. Bring the snakes in. And they just sitting there holding snakes. You chose that over God. The snakes. Just playing with snakes for 3 hours and dancing and listening to music. That's it. You have played the whore with many lovers. Keep going.
Yet return again to me.
Yet you come back to the Lord expecting him to take you back. You would never take a woman back who whored with you once. But you want me to take you back even though you've whored with every other god. You get the point, right? So now this is the Most High comparing us to a woman he's married to. And this is not the only one. It's many places in the Bible, all right? All right, which is what fornication is. He even calls the worshiping of another god fornication, right? It's all over the New Testament and the Old Testament. So when now read it to me in Revelations.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
These are they which were not defiled with women. What is that talking about? Let's give me one verse up.
Come on. The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 3. And they sung it.
You need, where are we at? What verse? What chapter are we in?
Revelation chapter 14, sir.
How about this? Give me Revelations 18 and 2.
Come on. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
Is this come out of her, my people? Is that 4? Go ahead and read that.
Jump to 4, sir.
Come.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Come out of what?
Come out of her, my people.
Come out of the country.
Come out of her, my people.
Come out of the belief system.
Come out of her, my people.
He's doing it again, everybody. He's doing it right here. Y'all know what come out of her means, right? Come out of her, meaning the metaphor is you pulling your rod out of a woman.
Come
out of her. You're in her. He wants you to come out of her. My people. Keep going.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
That ye be not partakers of her sins. Keep going.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
What's the metaphor the Lord is giving us right now? A woman, you go in, and because you partake in this sin, you partake in this plague. What's the metaphor? Microphone.
Is it like a disease you'll get from sex?
Give him a hand. That's the metaphor. Right? Very simple. That you understand, right? You go into this woman who you should not go into. And because you partook of her sin, what's the sin? The adultery of having sex with this whore. You put your rod in there, you coming out with gonorrhea and trichinosis and the clap and whatever, all those crazy ones. I think they got one where it's just spiders all over your penis. That's what deal with that. Oh, yeah. Spiders all over your penis. That's what you get. That's what you get. Don't come crying to me. Just don't bring no spiders in here. We got to sit in these chairs. Reading on. No, nobody wants to sit there. Now you get it, right? All right, thank you. That's the point. The point is, stop dealing with whores. All right? Now, the Lord is using a metaphor because you go into these religions. You go into worshiping these other gods. What's the woman? I damn it has told you. What's the woman in the other chapter? It's not a real woman. Okay, women don't defile you. You're not defiled by having sex with your wife. You're not defiled by having sex with your wife. What's the woman? Give her a hand. That's the woman. That's the whore. What does the Most High call our oppressor? The whore that sitteth upon. Give me the precept. That's not it. It's in Revelations. I believe it might be in 18. Please send me one more time, please, Warrior. I'll wait till you read up. What? Go ahead. Yeah, see where it says whore, the whore that sitteth upon many waters. It might be Revelation 19, 18, something. All right. Go ahead.
Revelation 17, sir.
What?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 1. And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
The judgment of the great whore that sits upon many waters. I appreciate that. That whore is speaking about America. That's the whore that sitteth upon many waters, meaning she rules many countries. She doesn't just sit on the Atlantic, there's Pacific, the Asian Ocean, over here, over there, the Galapagos Islands are ruled by America. Everywhere you go, everywhere, anywhere is ruled by America, brother. And all of them eat because they please America, or they starve because they don't. She is the whore that sitteth upon many waters. It's the metaphor is this woman who people have sex with. And because they do that, they get the disease. They get the plague. Everybody understands. Now go back to Revelation so I can wrap this up.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14. Start verse 3, so go right to 4.
Go give me the one with the woman.
Come. The book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women.
What's the women? Religions are the woman. That's the woman. Religions, ideologies, beliefs that defile you. You go into them, and because you went into that, you die.
Okay.
If you didn't know that from the COVID-19 virus, I don't know what else to tell you. You know, it destroyed the churches. AIDS destroyed the gospel choir.
That's right.
AIDS wiped it out. All right. It's the belief system. You get the point. They weren't defiled with women. Go ahead.
Come on. For they are virgins.
They're virgins, meaning they haven't had sex. They haven't had sex with these whores or these, women. It's comparing the men to women who have not had sex. It's comparing the woman to a religion. All right. Everybody gets it by now. All right.
Come.
Next.
Oh, it's like that's it. So.
Solid. Anything online? Anything in the room? You got a question? Just ask. All right. Sisters, you got a question? Just ask. Go ahead up front.
What if you had like a child that was outside of the UPK, or outside of the marriage that you have in the UPK, and that child is of age to have an interest in say, for example, women,
Right.
but their interest is their oppressor instead of their own.
That's a sadly to say that's a common problem. Okay, it's if your child is not in the truth, right? Now, when I say not in the truth, I'm not talking about what you wanted for them, what you might have even tried for them, right? You can't force anyone to wear a crown. There are some people that are just terrible people. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand about your kids. Some of your kids are just terrible people. That's just how it is. And you don't know it because you love them so much, but you'll find out that they are absolute terrible people. And it's especially if you have multiple children, you'll see, well, this one is good. This one raised in the exact same house, same parents. He's a bastard. He's a terrible bastard. They're different. And now, what do you do as a parent? As a parent, you're trying to make all of them good. That's your obligation. And you got to try to expose them to the best things. Most of your children were basically raised by alley cats because you are a terrible parent. So a lot of your kids, they're like that because they're like you. And you don't know that's really the problem. Your child is just like you, and you are a terrible parent. Absolutely disgusting. You don't know it. You're going to wonder why your child smokes. Think about it for a minute. Right? Just think about it. Take a second. What is you doing sneaking cigarettes in here? Sit down, just think for a couple of seconds about that. You might figure out why your child smokes. All right? Maybe as you're coughing. As you cough and choke on your weed. I don't know why he smokes. Nigga smoking in here. You ain't grown. That's what they always say. Whenever your child does the thing you do, you ain't grown. You're an alley cat. And you raise the child, and it's rough. The child was raised by you, and that's why they're never going to be anything. Because they're like you. Okay, so now you got to first look at that. You look at yourself, right? Your child it's so hard to not be like your parent. So if you're a terrible parent, odds say that your child will be like you, and they'll also be terrible. But there are times when you can attempt to raise a good child. You can try and try and try. Your child is just weak. Just not blessed. He's dumb. She's dumb. She doesn't have the gift of discipline, the gift to be able to fight thoughts. She's not strong enough in her mind, or he's not strong enough in his mind. So he'll flow with whatever is outside. And sister, white women are preferred to black women in the world. I don't think I have to tell you that, right? They're the preferable woman to have. If your child is in the world, he is not choosing a black woman over a white woman. It's just the better product. You could if you have to drive an Oldsmobile, you will. But if you can drive a Benz, you'd rather do that. And a black woman is an Oldsmobile. And a white woman is a Mercedes-Benz. And when that opportunity arises, most men in the world, if not every single last one of them, will just choose the better product, right? Now, a child that's righteous, a child that loves his mother will not choose a white woman. A child that looks at you and goes, I love my mother. I want to help my mother. I want to be able to be the help that I might not have seen my mother get. I want to be able to be there for my mother. My mother might not have had a man to help her. I'm going to go find a sister and help that sister. That's a good boy. Some of you have terrible children. And so now if you're in that situation where you've attempted, you've tried to teach them and tried to show them, but in the end, they are going to make a choice. They're going to have to choose life over death. Give me that precept. Life over death. Light has come into the world and men prefer darkness rather than light. That happens. But people just straight up make the choice. And that comes to all of us. We get a choice. We see the truth. We're exposed to it, but we're also exposed to the world. And some of us just say, you know what? I'm going with the world. That happens. When you find it, read it.
This is the book of John, chapter 3 and verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world.
This is the condemnation. If you had a parent that was actually trying to teach you the truth, and now when I say teach you the truth, I got to break this down because this is hard to get to. You are always teaching your child, even when you're not trying to. You're always teaching them because all people are basically copycats. That's every one of us. Every one of us is just looking at someone and mimicking it. And there is a time when children are at a young, impressionable age. There's a time in your life when things print on your mind, even the things that you don't want to print on their mind. If they saw you fighting with some man all the time, that boy is going to beat women. It's going to happen. If she saw you getting beat by a man all the time, she is going to seek out a man who she thinks will beat her. And she's going to want to him. She's going to be attracted to him subconsciously. She's going to want it. She's going to want to be you. And it's you can't fight it unless this child is very strong. You get my point? And some kids are just strong. Some children will go in the opposite direction of their terrible parents. Not most of them. Most of them will just mimic their parent, just be a copycat. You get the point. All right? Which is why we have to kick you out of the school. Because we know that people in the school will mimic the brothers above them. They'll look at them and they'll just do what they do. So if you smoke weed, the other brothers under you will smoke weed. If you speak like some foul bastard, then the brothers under you will do it, which is why you have to leave so that no one ever mimics your behavior. You understand, right? So now, in the end, there'll come a time when your child will get old. How old is he now? Whew. 14 is coming, yo. I tell every parent with a young child, 14 is on its way. Some of you just thank the Lord he hasn't shot somebody by now. Yeah, I mean, that's as true as I can tell you. If he ain't killed anybody, hey, better than my mother to lock you. If by that age, if he hasn't harmed somebody, thank the Lord. I mean, if by time 14, you get the point. Right? By the time 14 gets here, there's terrible things that have already happened. For a girl, forget about it. The whole school has had sex with her by 14 in the stairwell. Right, by 14. For what, beads? What they give them? They used to give them. Are you old enough to know what I'm talking about? That was about 5 years ago, brother. They were giving out girls little bracelets. I think those candy bracelets. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. You remember that? Say it again, brother. Yeah, it was like a wrist thing. And girls were in school. You thought they loved jewelry. They got sex bands, and they got an arm full of these bands because they perform oral sex in the bathroom. 14 years old, and some girl walking around there bands like a mummy, wrapped up in bands, and had sex with everybody. You think, boy, this girl really loves bands. No, that's not why she got those. Put it in your phone. I'm not making it up. Okay, you can look it up. That was going on. So you get the point. You got a son. He likes white women. That's normal if he's in the world. More than likely, if he's not listening to you, you got to let these white women destroy him. And they will. They'll teach him a good lesson, right? They'll get him locked up in jail. They'll lie and say he raped them. That's the usual MO. Some white girl will say, when her father catches her, your son will be in jail for rape, and that will teach him a very valuable lesson. All right? Read this precept, then I got to move on.
The book of John, chapter 3 and verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world.
Light has come into the world. That's what Commander General Yohana sustained here on this planet. Everyone, where is that video this week of the Wu-Tang Clan movie, of the Wu-Tang Clan putting the Isupk in their movie to show you how long we've been doing this? And our Commander General Yohana, while everyone betrayed their oath and laid down their sword, he did not. And now here we are in 2021, and there's some movie about what he was doing in the 80s. And someone give me the video too, if you don't mind. You know what I'm talking about. Someone else might have to do it besides you, all right?
Come on.
And that's how long this has been going on. Light is in this world. There's a path to get to the kingdom. There's a path to serve Christ, man. It's here. It's on the street corners and now on the internet. Now, on before I remember public access channels. Oh my God. You remember that time a lot. We sitting on the public access channels, bringing DVDs, running them down there to some office. We had to have them there by 3 p.m. Wednesday. DVDs. Nobody wants to play it. They look at this and go, I'm not playing this. And we gotta show them the rules to show that you have to play this. And fight to get them to even put the damn thing on. 3 p.m. on Tuesday night. 3 a.m. Tuesday. And then you sit up all night, and guess what? It didn't come on. Now you on the phone calling them, arguing and fighting with them. It was a mess, and we just kept pushing. The truth is here. You can find it. The Wu-Tang Clan found it. They saw it. Everyone sees it eventually. But this is the condemnation of this world. Light has come into the world. Keep going.
And men love darkness rather than light.
Some of those men are your sons. Right? They're becoming men now. They'll have a choice to make. I pray they choose wisely. Next question.
Oh, that's it for questions online. So
In the room?
I got the Wu-Tang.
Please go ahead and play.
Like it's nothing. You bought this new VHS? Oh, listen. Man, I'm trying to buy something from you. How come you ain't selling me a blank tape?
Cuz my word is bond.
Listen, original black man is God and all on the earth. And knowing every square inch, he chooses for himself the best part.
Word, sir. Word.
Yeah. Israelites coming over here now too?
No. We're gonna keep moving how we move.
Listen, your name is based on you. You choose based off the best part of your action.
We're gonna keep moving how we move.
I'm trying to buy something from you. How many you ain't coming over here now
You can
too?
stop it there. Give them to the most I am. Brother, that happened. You know how many that thing right there was going on like crazy in the early 90s. Them goddamn 5%ers out there on 115th Street. Oh, Jesus Christ. With the black man is God and Supreme Allah and this and that with all of that garbage. And we used to battle these fools out constantly. And just like today, we go set up right where they are. They be out there selling those stupid books they'd always sell. They have a table just full of cartoon books. Just all these books everywhere. We come set up and pull out our signs right there because they got no business coming out here any goddamn way. They shouldn't be out on the street. The fact that General Yohana even allows them to come out should be mercy because he doesn't have to. But he allows them to come out and we go and just set up because we go where we want. Everybody gets that, I pray. We go where we want, set up where we want, and them 5%ers got to get the hell up out of there. The Muslims with all that stupid bean pie garbage, they got to go now. That's it. All right, you had your fun. Now it's time to leave now. And we would just set up and just get that, and that's that. And battle them about that old, the man is God and what's that 13X? Clarence 13X. Clarence 13X. And in this movie, they're going to show the battles. In this one, they got the Hebrew Academy covers, and that's you. I'm going to tell you that that's you. That's you right now in this room. All right? And that used to happen constantly. You had your opportunity. You get the point. You got to get a chance, right? You got your chance. And then one day, your chance is over. I pray you understand. We good to go here? Anything else? All right, let me get to my topic, all right? What's the topic of today? Why you got kicked out of school? All right? I'm just going to explain it to you very carefully, all right? Let me go through a few precepts, all right? As some of you might know, Commander General Yohana has heard reports about your conduct down here in North Carolina. He is not pleased. He is not pleased with the constant stories that he hears about your lust. Most of you, Salakia, not most of you, but some of you are polluting a very righteous place. Captain Nayathak, give him a hand, man. Captain Nayathak has come down to North Carolina to give you the light and the path to live and not die. But in every school, there's always a thing that particular school has to fight. Give it to me in Revelations, the 2nd chapter, 2 and 1. Okay, let me just explain it to you first, all right? Quickly, all right?
Come on,
Please.
the book.
Go ahead. Let's start at just pick one. Pick one with the not the Nicolaitans, the spirit of Jezebel. Give me that one. Thou hast that spirit of Jezebel.
Come on. Shalaki.
You'll find it.
Come on. Oh, here we go. Verse 20. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 20.
Also, I need another video if you don't mind. I need that video where there was a nuclear test that happened in Hawaii, where by mistake, everyone's cell phone said imminent nuclear attack happening now. And everyone was running around the street, and there was a woman that stopped in the middle of the street and started to pray. Find it on your phones first, and then give it to the officer to put it on the screen, all right? This happened in Hawaii. Also, someone else, give me deliver such an one unto Satan. All right?
Come. What, read, sir?
So, yeah, 1 second. Also, someone else, give me walk as we do. It's in the New Testament where Paul said he bid everyone to walk as we do. Right. Go ahead and read.
Come. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee.
Read above it.
Verse 19. I know thy works and charity and service.
What school is this we're talking about?
Verse 18. And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira, write.
These are the 7 churches, the 7 schools that the Apostle Paul set up. And this is an angel who is assigned from Christ to guide these schools. And this angel is being chastised by Christ for the conduct of the people in the school. You understand? You can read Revelations 2 to understand the context. So this is Christ talking to the angel, and he's checking the angel for the conduct of the people, because it's the angel's job to direct these people. And these people are doing some things right, but other things they are not doing right. And those things have to be corrected. Keep going.
Come. The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 18. And unto the angel of the church at Thyatira, write. These things saith the Son of God, who hath his eyes like unto a flame of fire.
Who is the Son of God? That's speaking about Christ with red eyes. Keep going.
And his feet are like fine brass.
And he's a black man from the tribe of Judah. Keep going.
Verse 19. I know thy works and charity and service.
Let me tell you, brothers in North Carolina, you make your camp days, you go to camp, you go out there. I remember that. What was that thing that happened out there, that whole big riot out here we had out here? It was a riot on the street, and we came down here with Commander General Yohana. Keith Scott, you brothers got down. Give yourselves a hand for that, man. You got down, rock and roll. You spread all the way to Charlotte. Also tomorrow, I believe, I'll be teaching a class in Charlotte, North Carolina. The day after that, I'll be in South Carolina, because you brothers did your job down here when it comes to spreading the truth, when it comes to standing on that street corner and defending the name of God. You've done that, and I commend you for it. Keep going.
Come. And faith and thy patience.
What is faith? Faith is belief, and faith without works is dead. You've done the work of the Most High in North Carolina. It's clear and evident. This school, the participation from all of the sisters, you absolutely have done the work of God in North Carolina. Keep going.
And thy patience and thy works.
And you've been patient. You waited and waited. Keep going. And you worked. Keep going.
Come. And the last to be more than the first.
And the last to be more than the first. Captain Nayathat has served you in this city. He served you in North Carolina. He's decided that the last shall be more than the first. He's come down here, moved down here, established himself down here so he can be here for you and be your servant. And absolutely, Commander General Yohana sees it up. Keep going.
Come. Verse 20. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee.
Now, even though you've done all those good things, there are a few things you got to work on, which is why I'm here, which is why Commander General Yohana sent me down here. I am very busy and do not have the time to come down here. But Commander General Yohana ordered me to come down here because with all of that work, you still have a few problems. Keep going.
Come. Because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel.
Let me explain your problem to you. This particular school, their problem was they allowed women to have authority in the school. Jezebel's in the Old Testament, in the book of 1 Kings. She's dead by the time the New Testament comes around, right? This is thousands of years ago. But Jezebel was still there in this school because they began to give women power in the school. And with that power, these women began to persecute men of God in the school. It's easy to happen. The minute some woman gets upset about, men having more than one wife, if her husband is in charge, then before you know it, he says, brother, stop focusing on men having more than one wife. We don't need to talk about that so much. You brothers need to cool that down. Why? Because he has to argue every time he goes home about what his wife sees on the video. So then he begins to push the school away from having more than one wife. The IUIC is run by a bitch. When I say that, what I mean is a woman outside of the school. All right. Clearly, a woman runs that organization. A woman picked the color, pretty purple. A woman designs those shirts and those clothing. A woman said, if we're going to have an organization, we're not going to have polygamy. Some woman, more than likely, it's that Nathaniel's wife. She's in charge. This is what the sisters from their group, when they call me all the time, this is what they say. They say there's some women in there called the chosen daughters. I'm probably forgetting the name, but the elect sisters or the elect women. And the elect women are like a group that you cannot cross in the IUIC. And of course, because of that, they call me all the time to complain about it. The elect women. They got these elect women in there and they making us do this. Bitch, that's what you get for being in there. You want to do something wicked and you want it to benefit you, to profit you. You're only in there because you don't want your man to have another wife. And then you wonder why the chosen elect women are abusing you in there. Some people have that problem. Well, let me explain to you your problem. Your problem is not women having authority. That's not your problem. In North Carolina, your problem is lust. You have a problem with lust in North Carolina. You have a sexual deviance. Do you understand? You got a problem with lust. And when I say lust, I mean sex, I mean drugs, I mean smoking, I mean marijuana. You have a problem with that. You have a problem with fighting your own lust. You're weak in the flesh. And you're doing an amazing job with every other thing, but you are not focusing on your lust problem. And that lust problem also causes divisions among you. Who was here when I came down for Hebrew Academy? You were here. I came down for Hebrew Academy. And what did I say in Hebrew Academy? Abraham. Microphone. If you recall. No, someone else. Does anyone recall? Right here. Give the brother.
Come. Shalagi, I remember the one you said that our problem in North Carolina was that we don't prefer each other.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. In Hebrew, you recall now. Microphone. That was at Hebrew Academy as well. I said that at Hebrew Academy when I came down for Hebrew Academy. I said it again at Makatazai's funeral, right? I said it at Makatazai's funeral because I knew that all of you who were so sad about losing Makatazai, I knew you would not give a damn about the brother who was not dead. I knew that, right? I knew that, of course, Makatazai, you loved him because he died. Oh, Makatazai, I love him so much. But the brother who is not dead, you'll sleep with his wife. You'll do that. And that's why I told you that at the car, because I knew you would do it. I knew with all of the love for someone who's not here, who doesn't have a wife, I knew you love him. But when it comes time to love the brother who is not dead, him, you're going to have sex with his wife. You're going to have sex with his daughter. You're going to do it because you're a piece of garbage. And I knew that at the time, but my hands were tied. But finally, your evil has reached to Commander General Yohana. He has untied my hands. Give him a hand. Right? And all of the, the backbiting and talking and gossiping and all of that filth that you've always been doing, that I've always known about, always talked to Captain Nayathak about, which is why I said that at Mukadazar's funeral, and I said it at the Hebrew Academy. But you're hard-headed and you don't listen. And now I'm going to hurt you. Let me get a few precepts, all right? You're going to give me these precepts, all right? What's the ones I asked for a minute ago? Give me James 4 and 2. Unless you have something else, Nayathak, I'll take that, all right? Let me hear that. Nayathak, can you hang on to that? Let me give you James 4 and 2 if it's all right. Start there. James 4 and 2. We're going to take it down to one second. Let's start with James 4 and 2, just because it's up here. Go ahead.
Come on. This is the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 2. Ye lust.
Hold on 1 second.
Come on.
Instead, 1 Peter 1 and let's start at 12, all right? Rock with me for a second, all right? I'll break these down, okay? 1 Peter is 1 and 13 to 14.
Come on. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 13. Wherefore, gird up
Take it to 16, all right?
Come on.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
Read that again.
Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
Here's your problem in North Carolina. You don't believe that you have to be strong in your mind. Let me make it more simple to you. You don't believe you have to be strong when you're not around the brothers. You understand? When you're home. When you're home and you're not at camp and you don't have a structure there to watch over you and to strengthen you and to get you to focus and do your speaking and teach your classes, when you are just home and it's just you and your own mind, there you feel the liberty to be yourself. And when I say you, I mean the sisters too. You got the same problem down here with the smoking weed and the smoking and the Facebook that everybody knows about. Everybody sees. Some of you look like full out crackheads. You act like no one can tell. You look like a crackhead. Everyone can tell. But of course, Yahweh Shamarlatha. People are being kind to you. They're being patient with you. They know you have problems and they're trying to suffer you. That suffering is at an end tonight. Sisters, you understand, right? Pray so. Keep going.
Come. Shalakia. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind.
That's what you got to do. What does it mean to gird your loins? Your loins is like your midsection. The girdle is a war belt, right? That we wear around our waist. And you imagine cinching up a belt. You got a belt on, and you start to just pull it tighter and tighter and tighter down to the last hole, just so you can be strict and militant and tight. That's what you have to do up here, Rock. You got to do that in your mind, Doc. You can't go home, and now because you're home, you can float all into social media. Let me tell you something else that brothers don't know. Sisters, this is going to blow their minds. Everyone knows when you like a girl because of the thumbs ups. Everyone in the school knows. They call me about it. Everyone, you know how you like a picture? You liking the picture, right? And in your mind, you are telepathically trying to tell the sister you like her. Right? You're trying to say, she got a picture. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. That's a good one, sis. Now that's your way of trying to telepathically tell her that you are interested in her, thereby going around the 1 year rule. Right? So you can circumvent the rule that says you can only salute until she's been in the school 1 year. You can't do that. So instead of talking to her, you just thumbs up. That's true, sis. That's good, sis. Does the sister know you like her? Yes, she does know you like her. Congratulations. Guess who else knows? Every brother and sister in the school. Sisters, am I breaking this down? Yeah, they all know. So when you out there, hunting down some sister, hunting her to death, every sister goes, oh, so-and-so like her. He like her. He like all her pictures. He comment on all her posts. Everybody can tell that you're some old horny, filthy bastard. You're horny. You're not embarrassed by that? Like you don't care. Make me understand this. You don't care that everyone sees you're horny. Don't you want somebody to look at you like a man of God? You don't want that. You don't want did you come in here for everybody to say, he horny as hell. He horny tonight. He got that look in his eye. He got that look in his eye. Y'all better stay away from him. He horny tonight. Like, don't you want to be a man of God? Like, you don't have this self-control. You don't have any self-control? None? Like, everybody sees it, huh? They got eyes. Like, they see this. This isn't secret that you like this girl. And you're not embarrassed at all. You didn't even consider it because you are so laser focused on subverting the 1 year rule that you don't see that everyone in the school knows you like her. And they all lose a little respect for you. That's what they do. Everyone goes, I thought he was this big priest, this big 5,000. I thought he was this big 5,000. Meanwhile, he's horny. That's all he is. He's just another horny man. He like her. And what do you think the girl thinks about you? Do you think the girl is just so smitten with you and your affections that she ignores the fact that she no longer respects you? This is something too, this goes into the topic the sister asked about with your kids. A lot of you want your children to obey you when you don't care whether or not your children respect you. And you think that respecting you is obedience. They do what you tell them to do. Okay, beating a child and bullying them and forcing them to do something does not make them respect you, even though they will be obedient to you because they don't want to get hit or chastised or punished. But there is only one way to make a child respect you, and that's to live honorably in their sight. And then a child can look at you and go, well, my parent is telling me to do something. That's an honorable man. That's an honorable woman. Like Commander General Yohana's mother. I saw Commander General Yohana's mother for years, 25 years. We would go over there, brother. She would have a blue bin in that corner of that a project apartment in Castle Hill, the Bronx, always. And it wasn't until years later I said, what's this bin? His mother was always filling up a bin to send things over to the West Indies because Commander General Yohana's a Benjamite. And this bin just sat in the living room. And when they would go to the store or go anywhere, she'd just bring back a few extra things and throw it in the bin. And the Commander General Yohana's mother, brother, was with his father. And when his father left, she was never with another man for the rest of her days on this earth. I'm talking 40 years. All she did was take care of Commander General Yohana and his siblings. Give her a hand, man. Every time I think about that sister, it moves me because that sister raised Commanding General Yohana and devoted her life to it. She had no other pursuits. She wasn't a sexual being. Some of you bitches, all you are, you know what you are to your children? You're just a sexual being. That's what you are to your kids. And your kids know some new man is coming in every few months because mama has to have sex. Mama has to have a man's attentions. And so some new man, and each man that comes in the house has to call him daddy. She calls 2 or 3 men daddy because mama just has to have attention. Mama has to have it. You don't care about your child respecting you, and you only get respect by honorable conduct. Well, brothers, while you're so worried about making sure this woman knows you like her, do you care that she loses respect for you because she knows the 1-year rule? She knows how brothers in the school are supposed to behave, and she knows that you are not behaving that way. Doesn't that matter? You don't deserve a woman. Cowards don't deserve women. Give that to Zakar for t-shirts. Call Captain Zakar. That's a t-shirt. Cowards don't deserve women. The water. You're a coward and you don't deserve a woman. Am I making you understand? All right. And just so you know, the only way you'll get a woman in here is if you break the 1-year rule, because I will never approve a courtship for you, ever. It will never happen. You will never, someone is going to call and say you were asking about a woman, and I'm going to say, who knows? No, that's not how I say it. You haven't been through it. I don't say la. I use more tact than that. I don't say that either. This is what I say. You'll know when the brothers call. That sister is not available. She's not available, right? That means you don't deserve a woman. Or the sister might say, I would like to court this brother. You know what I'll say? That brother is not available right now. Or I usually say, well, he's too busy. He has too many other wives. His schedule is too difficult right now to take on another wife. What that means is you don't deserve to be with a brother in the school because you're a coward, because you don't fight your own lust. You don't fight yourself. You're a drug addict. You smoke weed. You smoke cigarettes. You're on Facebook slutting yourself for attention. You're not getting married. You're going to have to go into the world to find some sucker, or you're going to have to break the 1-year rule, thereby giving me the pretense I need to get you out of here. Everybody understands, right? Where are we reading from?
I was still in the book of 1 Peter.
Go ahead.
Book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, and verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober.
Be what?
Be sober.
That goes straight into how you think. And of course, you can't think well if you're high. Give me assassin. Someone look up. Everyone has heard of the term assassin, right? All right. Tell me where that term comes from. Do you know what? Break it down.
If I may, sir. The word assassin comes from a Persian Syrian group who used to smoke hashish, and they used to call them the hashishim.
Get this brother studies. Give him a hand.
And that was in the 12th century. And they were a group of murderers. They were murderers for hire.
Give him a hand. I sent the video to Officer Iraq today to play in a class, but he saved me some time. The assassins were the hashishans, which literally means hashish eaters. What is hashish? It's a very concentrated form of marijuana, right? If you don't know about it, it will be in your dispensary in about 3 months. It'll be there. It's that strong weed that you can buy from that dispensary. Is weed legal in North Carolina? Not yet. It will be. Is it? Medical, of course. Medical, meaning that hurt back of yours. Who got a hurt back? Everybody. Whose back hurts? Raise your hand. Yes, thank you. Serve it up. Right. Right. So that what they're going to sell in that dispensary is that powerful strong weed, which is regular weed on the street is like 10-20% THC, and this is like 20 to 60% THC, and it's that powerful weed from that dispensary, and it's hashish. It is also the preferred drug in, guess where? Afghanistan is what they get high on. I also sent that video to Officer Iraq. It's what they prefer to get high on in Afghanistan. It's coming to your dispensary. You're going to be able to get it. And the assassins were called the Hashishans because they ate or smoked hashish. And they got so high on that weed that they would kill people for money. What is the murder rate right now in North Carolina? 500 people have been murdered in North Carolina, which is a New York number up. That's a Philadelphia number, 500. 500 is gigantic. It's a gigantic amount of numbers. That's how many murders you got right now. And we're the new year. We're not at February. We're not at January. You got 500 murders here right now. And that is a New York number, which is one of the biggest cities on the planet Earth. And that's what you have in North Carolina. I wonder why. Because no one is sober here, right? No one is sober. Everyone is high, smoking weed. And because of that, you're going to do things that you would not do if you weren't smoking weed. And the weed is going to get more and more and more strong. And that's what an assassin is. And you can look it up on your own. Sober. Go ahead.
Come. In hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach.
Hold on. I missed something. Read a few sentences above it.
Come. Verse 13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach.
Keep going.
Verse 14. As obedient children.
As what?
As obedient children.
As what?
Obedient children.
And here's the key, and it's hard to understand this being as stupid as you are. But you're going to have to obey. You're going to have to obey without wavering. You can't be shaken off of obedience. We have rules in this school. The Bible is a book of rules, and you're going to have to follow them. And you can't waver because you like her or because, whatever stupid thing is in your mind that gives you license to be disobedient. You're going to have to obey. And you're getting kicked out of the school because you won't obey. Because you've been told time and time again to do something, and you just won't do it. But you're going to have to obey to be in here. This is North Carolina's problem. You do many things well, and I commend you for them. But the problem you have is lust, carnality. You can't deny yourself a pleasure for the truth. You can't do it. And because of that, you have to go. Because there are brothers and sisters in here that deny themselves every day. They suffer from the same lust you suffer from, except they would never do the thing you do. And because of that, you're going to get away from them so that they can grow and blossom into who they need to be. Keep going.
Come on. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lusts.
Until what?
According to the former lusts.
That's what you do. You fashion yourself unto the former lust. You come into the school, you go to camp, but you still shape yourself into who you were before. Some filthy Christian. And in the Christian church, that is the normal way. And I also find that it's very hard in the South to not be a hypocrite because of all the Christianity you have down here. You got so much Christianity. In other cities, everyone is not Christian. So sometimes when they come into the truth, this is the first time they've ever believed in anything. When I came into the truth of it, I never believed in anything at all. Nothing. This was the first time I ever accepted God. When I found Commander General Yohana. That was it. But I often wonder, how difficult would it have been if I already gave my life over to Jesus? If I already went before the altar and confessed my sins and kept having sex with whores and kept being my old self. Some of you, this is the second and third time you've done this. You've done this before. You went and said, that's it, I'm changing my life. I'm changing my life. I'm giving my life over to God. I'm doing it. And when you did it, You kept having sex with whores. You kept smoking. You kept smoking weed. You just became a hypocrite in some religion. And now you're doing it again. You're here now, and in your mind, you think you can do what you've always done, which is give your life over to God and continue to be a filthy, disgusting pedophile, to be a rapist, to be a child molester, to be some man having sex with whores, to be some woman on Facebook talking to other men. You sisters doing that, you got a bad problem. You know what you are? You're desperate. You're desperate. You're unattractive. You're unattractive and you're desperate. How do I know that? Because you go on Facebook and belittle yourself with some other man needing his attention. Do you need someone to tell you you're pretty? Is that what you need? Are you desperate for someone to say, I like you. You're pretty in that dress. You're losing weight. Look at that picture. She lost weight. I can tell because she has those tights on with all of that armor underneath that to keep that stomach in. You got a whole suit of armor on under that thing. Have you lifted up that shirt? It's a suit of male armor. It's a suit of armor on under there. But you know, why do you wear it? Because you need your ex-boyfriend to say, boy, you're looking good. You look real nice. And then you get all giddy because you're an unattractive woman and you need men to cancel out that thing in your brain that says you're unattractive. And you need him to do it. So even though you have a husband, even though you have children that look at you as their mother, you're still on Facebook talking to your ex-boyfriend, talking to men, sneaking around with them, all for what? Attention. Pretty girls don't need that kind of attention. You understand? Real good-looking women, they know what's in the mirror. They see it all the time. They don't need men to do that because they have mirrors, right? But when you are unattractive, you need someone to say, I don't have to work out and eat better. I don't have to watch what I eat and walk and exercise. This man says I look good, so I don't ever have to fix myself because this man gives me attention. But a pretty girl doesn't need that. If you need attention, it's because you are very unattractive. Do you understand? Pretty girls don't need that. They have mirrors. They walk by it and ooh-wee. They see what's there. They know what they have. That's in the Bible. Am I making this up? Oh, it's in the Bible. It's in Proverbs 31. She perceiveth her goods, and she knows that they are good. She doesn't need somebody to tell her. She doesn't need, the validation from men because she puts a picture up, turn her ass to the camera, looking back at it. And then she sits and watches her phone. Okay, ass, look back at the phone, shake. All right, come on, y'all. Give me some likes. Come on, y'all. Good, all right. I don't have to kill myself. I don't have to kill myself today. Thank you. Let me tell you what a good-looking woman gets a mirror, goes in front of that thing, and damn. Shalom. I'm moving on now. Okay? Because then I'll go all, The point is, it's good, all right? And she knows it. She's confident. You understand? That lack of confidence you have, you should have because you're unattractive. You should have that lack of confidence. And no matter how many likes you get, you're still unattractive. Because guess what? Those men who push like on your picture, they're not liking that picture because you're attractive. They're liking the picture because they know you're desperate and they know you're easy to have sex with. A like doesn't mean you look good. A like means, here's a hoe. I'll like the picture and she'll call me. She'll have sex with me. Because men, I'm going to tell them something they don't know. You ready, brothers? Men don't care what you look like. That means nothing to them. They'll have sex with a one-legged woman with one or two legs and one eye. None of that means anything. Like you all getting dressed up and all of that with the eyelashes and the weaves. I always go, why don't you just say, I'm giving it out? Like, just type on there, who wants some? And everybody's gonna come. Okay, because they don't care what you look like at all. Because they're lustful pigs. They're lustful, disgusting pigs. So what you look like is irrelevant. They're just looking for someone who looks desperate enough to have sex with a coward. That's it. And that's what you look like. You look like someone desperate enough to have sex with a coward. But it doesn't mean you're pretty, because you're not. Let's move on. Go ahead.
Come. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lusts in your ignorance.
Mhm.
Verse 15.
I think I just broke down ignorance. That's stupid. That you're dumb. I think I said that a few times.
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 15. But as he which hath called you is holy.
That's what it is. That's what he is. He that hath called you is holy. What does holy mean? Separate. That's what holy means. And that's what you suffer with in North Carolina. You don't know how to separate yourself from the old you. From the old you that just love to just have sex with whatever nut you find on the street. And then you call me and expect me to fix her. I got to fix whatever piece of trash you found. General Muhammad, can you give me a marriage counsel with Tamika? She stabbed me yesterday. All right, I'll put her on the phone. Tamika, shalom, sir. I stabbed him yesterday. And I got to fix this piece of trash that you found. And then you trot her in before me because I'm supposed to fix her. I'm supposed to clean up all of your mess for you like a good daddy, right? You go make a stupid mess. And now you call me because I'm supposed to get in there and I'm supposed to convince Tamika not to stab you anymore. I get you. I understand. The problem is you're not worth that kind of work. You're just not worth it. Right? I got a lot of things to do. I'd rather be solving the problems of a good man, not your problems. You understand, right? Keep going.
Come. So be ye holy in all manner of conversation.
Read that again.
So be ye holy in all manner of conversation.
That's what you're going to have to do, and that's what you have not done down here. You're going to have to be holy in your conversation. You're going to have to, when you open your stupid mouth, you're going to have to be separate and righteous. You're going to have to be. If there are people in the world that can say they smoked weed with you or sold weed to you, and you are in the truth, I'm kicking you out of here. I'm not suffering that kind of shame. I'm not doing that. I can't go before Commander General Yohana and present myself before him a righteous warrior, knowing I allowed you in the school. My sense of ambition is too high for that. I have an extreme sense of ambition. Extreme. And my entire life, I've devoted to presenting my work before my Lord, Commander General Yohana. And you're not going to be my work. I'm not doing that. I'm going to show him an empty room and then present myself to him a good son, that I've done his will because this room is empty. Do you understand? Where are you at now?
Verse 16.
Where did I say to stop at? What
What
chapter are you in? I mean,
Verse 1.
1 Peter?
Verse Peter, chapter 1. Yeah, 16, I think you said.
Okay, I think we're good there.
Come.
Give me 1 Peter 2 and 11.
Come. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 11.
I'm sorry, give me 2 and 10.
Come. Chapter, book of 1 Peter.
Give me
chapter,
2 and 9.
Come. The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, and verse 9.
See me with some ice on this. I'm sorry, this might be ice right here. Go ahead, I'll throw out.
Come. But ye are a chosen generation.
You are what?
A chosen generation.
You are what?
A chosen generation.
That's something that you blow your opportunity when you come into truth and you continue to smoke. And you continue to, search for whores on Facebook or go seek attention by dressing like a slut. I've seen a lot of slutty pictures down here in North Carolina from you sisters. Tons of them. I looked at these pictures and I call Nayafak and go, is she, what do I say, Nayafak? Is she in the school? I can't even believe that bitch is in the school. She's in here. In here. You telling me there's some Jake in the world that can say he saw my daughter's titties? Oh no, I can't have that. I can't sleep at night with that. I'll be in the gym for too many hours trying to get that out of my mind so I don't kill you. I can't go through that. I can't have some Jake in the world saying he saw Akwath Shabagada's titties. No. That I can't suffer. And I don't think I should have to. And Commander General Yohana, he's decided I don't have to either. He's decided I don't have to go through you with your stupid pictures online, and you are just as unattractive as you always were. You're not more attractive because you have on a wife beater or some nasty tights. You're still unattractive. You're still that little girl who didn't think boys liked her. You are still her. You have not changed. You are unattractive no matter how naked you dress. But I can't have someone in the world thinking that one of General Yohana's daughters is a whore. I can't suffer that out. No, brother. No. Keep going.
Come on. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
Listen, you've been given an opportunity in here. An opportunity. A chance. Your mother didn't get this chance. Your uncles didn't get this chance. Your uncles and your father died and no one gave a damn. They were a face on a t-shirt. They had some old funeral service, and your father was no one to be cared about. No one anybody thought of. He was no great man. Come on. He was nothing. And your grandmother, who you idolize like a god, she comes and she goes, and them nice grandmamas die, and they're gone. But you have been given such an opportunity to rise yourself above the dirt, to be better. What do? Blow it? Keep going.
Come on. And holy nation, a peculiar people.
Take me back to royal priesthood.
Come on. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
And what?
A royal priesthood.
What?
A royal priesthood.
That's why you were risen up, brother. That's why your head was anointed with oil. For you to be a royal priesthood. What are you, some horny man who can't stop having sex with sluts? Have you ever turned down a woman? Ever? Don't you want to see what that feels like to say no? Do you have to have sex with every woman that wants to have sex with you? Couldn't you say no? You know you could. Wouldn't it feel good to say, this sister wants to be with me? No, thank you, sis. I'm flattered, but I'm fine. The water. Wouldn't that just make you feel more honorable to say no? You have never turned down vagina in your life because you're a piece of garbage. And you can't say no. You are a royal priesthood. Don't you want to one day look at yourself and go, I'm a priest. I'm holy. I can't be had by any slut. I'm special. I'm different. Keep going.
Come. An holy nation.
A what?
An holy nation.
Not just the priest, but the entire nation. Men and women and children separate from the world. Different from them. Cult leaders. People who don't mix with other people, don't involve themselves in their sin. Men who have left their families. Women who have left their families, choosing to live on a higher standard. Don't you want to be that one time and see what that's like? Or do you just want to be some horny man or some attention-driven slut? Keep going.
Come. A peculiar people.
A strange people. Cult leaders. That's why they say we're in a cult. Because they look at us and go, these people are peculiar. What are y'all doing? You don't get high? I remember years ago, I forget what rank I was. I might have been 5,000 or 50. And I went around some super drug dealer. I mean, he was, had mansions and so many murders. Murders on top of murders. He went and killed some cat. He killed some cat who saw him kill somebody else in front of his mother. Kicked in the door, murdered the cat. His mother saw him do it, but his mother was a crackhead because this was the 80s. His mother was a crackhead and they gave her $5,000. And his mother said, I don't know who killed my son. It was her son. He gave her $5,000 and she lied, and they got away with it. So now I'm sitting there talking to him. So now by him, I'm in the truth right now. We're sitting out on some lawn chairs in front of some house talking. And he turned to me and he said, what you into? I said, I'm Israelite from Israelite School UPK. He said, do you grind? That's what he said at the time. And I said, no, I'm not in the world. He said, you don't grind? Grind meant sell drugs, right? I said, no, I don't grind. No, I'm not in the world. He said, what do they do in your world? In my world, we speak, man, and we raise up our people. We teach our people the truth. He said, they don't grind in your world? They don't get no money? I said, no. I said, in my world, Doc, we put drug dealers to death. We'll go and take you and hang you from the light poles. Hang you from the light poles, and we'll put your head on a tree stump and chop your goddamn head off. He was like, now I did this. He did this. And he said, just like that. And I remember that day so clearly because I knew all about his murders. I knew all of that stuff already because he was so famous for these murders and for killing these witnesses and for this mother who lied for him against her own son. And I remember wanting inside for him to know that I was nothing like him. You understand? I needed it. I didn't want him to sit next to me and think, in some way, he and I have parity. In some way, he and I have some connection. I am not like you. And in my world, you'd be killed. We would cut your head off. In my world. I'm not in your world. My world is not here. In my world, I would just take you out and cut your head off and kill you. And he realized that day, he and I were not the same. Don't you want to one day look at people in the world and go, I'm not one of them? Right now, too many of you in North Carolina, you are one of them. You're just like them. You're some lustful, horny bastard. You'll have sex with some 14-year-old girl. In North Carolina, until about 5 years ago, you could have sex with a 14-year-old girl here. Look that up and give me that stat, please. The stat is, I think it's 16 now. It's 16 now. But a few years ago, it was 14 years old. Find that for me, please. You and your brother, your woman, she cheats on you, you take her back. You just need vagina. You just need somewhere to put that filthy seed of yours all over the place, and that's that. And you need as many places as you can, and you don't care where you put it because you're a disgusting bastard. Don't you want to be different? You could be. You could change. You have the opportunity. You could be a royal priesthood. You could be a holy nation. Keep going.
Come on. A peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
Keep going.
Verse 10.
Where are you at right now? What chapter?
1 Peter chapter 2, sir.
Chapter 2 and 11?
Chapter 2 and verse 10 right now, sir.
Okay, go to 11 for time's sake.
Come on. Verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims.
I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims. Beseech you means beg you. As strangers and pilgrims. What's a stranger? Someone who is not from this world. That's what we are here. We're strangers here. We're pilgrims here. What's a pilgrim? Someone that travels to a far country seeking the will of God. Please. Microphone.
The age of consent in North Carolina is 16 years under North Carolina law. This was put out on May 9th of 2014.
Give me back when it was 14. It was 14 a little while ago. You can look it up, sis.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like you said, this is May 9th, 2014. So prior to May 9th, 2014, the age
Prior to 2014, you could have sex at 14 years old in North Carolina. That's how people are. Let me give you the age of consent in the UPK. If a woman is 42 years old, you can't touch her. That's the rules in the school. You're not allowed to touch a woman in here if she's 37, if she's 60. There is a 60-year-old sister in the UPK right now that I am humbled. One day I'll be able to give her away in marriage. She can't get married without my permission. She's 60 years old. And that's what all of these rules do. All of these rules somehow make you think that you are allowed to do it because she says you can. I don't give a damn how old she is. I don't care if she's 35, 50, or 60. You don't touch her without her father's permission. Do you understand? I don't want to come. That's in the world. That's in the world. In the world, of course, you know, she's 14, you've committed no crime. Now she's 16, you committed no crime. If you touch a 35-year-old woman in here without permission, brother, you're done. You're gone. Shit, since you're forcing me. That's him. Don't blame this on me. That's this brother here. I don't know what to do. So anyway, go ahead.
Come.
You get the point. Keep going. I got to move on. Come on.
Abstain
I'm
from
way
fleshly
behind.
lusts.
I'm jamming up across the line right now. Hold on.
Come.
Go ahead.
Which war against the soul.
Read that part again, please.
Come, dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts.
Abstain from what?
Fleshly lusts.
Abstain from what?
Fleshly lusts.
You have to behave yourself like you are not a citizen here. You understand? And that's what you don't do in North Carolina. You act like everybody else. The social media, and that just gives you another way just to pollute yourself with the damn social media and the hoes and the sluts and the blah, 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 and the ex-boyfriends and the this and that. Read that part again.
Come. So like, dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul.
Which do what?
War against the soul.
War is against your soul. I know you believe that by smoking weed, you are in some way, you know what you think you're doing when you smoke weed? You think you're escaping from reality, don't you? That's what you think. You think now all of your pain can be muted when you get a cigarette. You're not suffering like you usually are, right? You're trying to escape from reality, aren't you? All of your pain and suffering can go away. Why? Because you had a bad life. I know that. Let me give you another new day in North Carolina. I don't care about your past problems. I don't care about that. I don't care about your child molestation. I don't care about your mother and your father and your foster care. You've been given enough time to be able to get yourself together. Now I'm going to care about the people who will be hurt because you're here. And there are people that are going to be hurt because people who give themselves the excuse of past pain are allowed to be in this school and pollute other people. Do you understand? Read that last part again.
Come. Abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul.
You get that. Give me Ecclesiasticus 23:6.
Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 23 and verse 6.
I'm sorry. Yes, go ahead, read that.
Come. Let not the greediness of the belly, nor the lust of the flesh take hold of me.
The greediness of the belly. You just cannot be filled. You can't ever get enough. There's never enough, is it? You don't ever have enough women. Of course not. I'm the one fixing all your marriage problems. So you're free to go out and just have sex with some new woman every week who is a terrible mistake for you to have sex with because you're greedy. And that's it. You're just full of goddamn greed. You don't scrutinize her. You don't care of the kind of woman she is. She's just a possible woman. And that's that. And that you meet a woman who is in desperation of attention. You just care about it being a vagina. That's it. It's a vagina and a mouth. Good enough. And you think that this thumbs up means you're pretty. And so you meet each other and you find each other because you're seeking one another. I'm going to kick you both out the school. Both of you. Keep going.
Come on.
Someone had their hand up? Go ahead.
Come on. And give not over me thy servant into an impudent mind.
Don't give me over to an impudent mind. Look up the word impudent.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Impudent. This is the definition of impudent. Not showing due respect for another person.
Let me tell you what happens to you as you're being, a lot of this is happening to you right now. Right? You think, who is he talking to like that? Why is he talking to me like that? He shouldn't be saying that. You got a disrespectful mind. I'll talk to you however in the hell I want to, because you're a sinner. There was a time when I would take you to a stump and cut your head off or hang you from a light pole. You deserve this. Don't allow some spirit to come in your mind to say, oh, not me. I shouldn't. No. He shouldn't tell me what to do. He shouldn't tell me what I can do with my body. He shouldn't say what I can do. Don't allow yourself to be given over with an impudent mind. Do you understand? Keep going. That's it for that. Where you at now?
Oh, still in Ecclesiasticus, sir.
Go ahead.
Come
You got
on.
6?
No, that's the end of 6. Come on.
You done 6 solid.
6 is done.
Unless you think there's more there. If
That's
not,
it, sir.
give me Ecclesiasticus 20 and 4.
Come on.
Here, this is good. This is a good one for you to understand yourself and all of your problems, all right? Go ahead. Ecclesiasticus 20 and 4.
Come on. Select, so I believe this is the right one. The book of Ecclesiasticus,
3:3.
chapter 20 and verse 3. How good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance?
Let me tell you something, man. If you're not impudent and if you don't reject and fight against someone trying to save your life from your self-destructive behavior, how good is it to be reproved and to repent? How excellent is that, man? When in the hell did your family get that? When has anyone ever tried to teach you anything? Ever pressed or tried to make you attain something higher? No one has. You didn't have a father to do it. You didn't have a mother to do it. Finally, someone in your life is not satisfied with your low standard. How good is that? How good is that to be reproved, checked, and to repent and to actually change because someone checked you and chastised you? Keep going.
Come on. For so shalt thou escape willful sin.
That's how you do it, You're going to have to be chastised to escape what kind of sin?
Willful sin.
What kind of sin?
Willful sin.
Let me help you out with this too. Drug addiction is willful sin. It's willful sin. Right? Smoking cigarettes is willful sin. You know why it's willful sin? Because you cannot smoke a cigarette. You know how you'll know? Prison. They're going to put you in jail. And for that first month or whatever, how long is it until you can get drugs in jail? 3 weeks? You're going to be in a holding cell. And when you're in there, there'll be no cigarettes and no weed. And you are going to be in absolute pain because you need a smoke. You need one. And it's going to hurt. Oh my God. It's going to feel like your skin is being ripped off. You're going to be in so much pain. You could go through that pain and defeat a cigarette addiction if you just embrace that pain. Hurt. If I took you and threw you in a jail cell, you wouldn't be able to get cigarettes. You know what you do? Guard. Listen, when am I getting out? I need to make my phone call. All of that phone call is because you need a cigarette. That's why. You need a cigarette. So guard, when am I going to make my call? Guard, because you need to get out of here so you can smoke. It hurts. It's painful. Embrace that pain and you will be free from cigarette addiction. suffer, hurt. It's willful. It's you not wanting to hurt. Most of you know what you do? You can't handle the seasons of your life. Seasons. And life has seasons. Life has a winter. Life has a spring. Life has a fall. Life has a winter again. Life has a summer. But you can't handle the seasons. So when pain comes, no pain. I can't go through this pain. Cigarettes, attention, whores. I can't go through the winter of my life. I can't go through this. You can't go through the seasons of your life, and you need drugs and illicit sex so you can avoid the seasons of your life instead of embracing the winter in your life. Embracing that time. It hurts. It's painful. I'm suffering through it. I'm sweating and I'm irritable and I can't take it. But this is the season I'm in. If I get through this, I'll make it to the spring. I pray you understand. It's willful sin, drug addiction, sex addictions, attention addictions. It's willful sin because you can't go through the season change, man. You can't do it, but you're going to have to if you're going to be in here. Keep going.
Verse 4, as is the lust of an eunuch to deflower a virgin.
Listen to this carefully. This is what you need. There was some problems down here with some piece of garbage thinking he could have sex with some girl, some young girl, without asking her father's permission, which he would never get because she's too young. And he thought he could go around it, and I kicked him out of school. He's gone. I assume you all heard about that. Is that correct? No, you don't know what I'm talking about? You're next. You're the next one I'm going to kick out of the school. I already kicked one out. I'm going to kick a lot of you out of here. It's going to happen to a ton of you. You're not allowed to choose who you have sex with or kiss or hold hands with in here. That's not your choice. You don't get to make that decision in here. You think you do, but of course, because you're lonely and horny and you have low self-esteem, you'll touch anyone that wants to touch you. But in here, you have to get permission. And we don't allow pedophiles in this school. Do you understand? I mean, it's my pleasure to kick you out. I get a sense of fulfillment out of it. And I will be fulfilled in here tonight. Keep reading that again from the top.
Con. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20 and verse 4. As is the lust of an eunuch.
What does as mean? Just like. As is the lust of a eunuch. What's a eunuch? A man who hasn't had a woman. Some of you think, because you don't have a wife, that gives you the right to have sex with whatever you can have sex with. Because you don't have a woman, you are lying to yourself. I don't give a damn if you haven't had a woman in 20 years. You still don't get one in here without permission. Listen carefully to this scripture so you can understand it. As is the lust of a eunuch, keep going.
To deflower a virgin.
To deflower a virgin. That's what this brother thought. He thought because he hadn't had a woman since the Eisenhower administration, that he could just have any little girl who wanted to be with him. That's what he thought. Here's what he should have understood. As is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin. Go ahead.
So is he that executeth judgment with violence.
Read it one more time. These two things are equal, you filthy, disgusting bastard. These things are equal, and you should understand this. One more time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Con. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20 and verse 4. As is the lust of an eunuch to deflower a virgin.
As is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin. Now, if you're not this kind of person, try to imagine it. You don't have any woman, and there's this young girl who's never been with a man. Oh, and you're an Israelite. So, of course, you love a woman who's never been with a man, right? especially if you think you're Ezekiel in your mind. You think somehow you're better than Captain Nayathok, better than everyone else. You deserve to be with a woman that has never been with a man, because in your stupid mind, you're Ezekiel, right? As is the lust of a eunuch who wants to deflower a virgin. That lust is what? Extreme, because you don't have a woman, and here in your mind is the perfect woman. She's never been with a man. She's young. She's 14 in North Carolina, or 16 today in North Carolina. That lust is strong, as is the lust of a eunuch to deflower a virgin. Go ahead.
So is he.
So is what?
So is he.
You think you feel this lust strong? He feels something strong too. He feels something strong. What does he feel?
So is he that executeth judgment with violence.
He feels strong too. And he's going to cut your head off. That's what he's going to do to you. Because I know you think that sexual urge is strong, isn't it? You had to have her, didn't you? You had to have her. She wanted it. That isn't what you tell yourself? Well, she wanted it, sir. She really was. I don't give a F if she wanted it. I don't want it. Do you understand? I have to want it. If I don't want it, you can't do it. Because I don't want it. You have sex with who I tell you to have sex with. Not if she wants you to. Who asked her? You know I don't give a F what she thinks. Right? So you telling me she wanted it. I didn't even ask you. I don't want it. Which means you can't have sex with her. She's 37 years old. Do you understand? And as strong as you feel to deflower that virgin, I also feel strong about killing you. I feel this, you and I feel the same way. I pray you understand. All right. Let me give you another concept to make you understand something, all right? This is good for you sisters. And when I explain this to the sisters, the brothers will also understand something. Most of you don't understand how Satan works, right? Which is what's at work in your mind when it comes to your lust, men and women. But I'm going to explain Satan to you in the best way that I think I can for North Carolina. Sisters, right? There's a man who wants to have sex with you. And he talks to you and he tells you all of the right things. And you just met him tonight. And he takes you out for drinks and he tells you that you're pretty. And he touches you and he makes you feel like you're the most important woman in the world. And he convinces you that he really, really wants to be with you. And against your better judgment, you have sex with him on the first date, on the second date, on the third date. And you don't want to do it because you know you shouldn't. But this man, he really wants it and you really like him. And you want him to like you. So you do what he is asking you to do. You have sex with him. And then later on, you get pregnant. And then you say, you're the father. He says, you're a hoe. You're a slut. Now, this is what you need. Focus in. What makes you a slut? What makes you a whore? Okay, you got to bring me home. This is the man. Who's going to call you a slut? The man that you slept with. Who wanted to sleep with you? That man. After you have sex with him and you saying, well, now I'm pregnant. Now I need money. Now I need some help. He's going to say, bitch, you a slut. And his proof for calling you a slut is you had sex with him. Do you understand? That's Satan. He is going to convince you to give him what he wants. If you do it, you're a nasty, dirty bitch. And that baby is not mine. Why? Because you listen to me. You understand? You know who does that? The police, the cops. How did I forget about this? Shout out to Officer Macabre in Minnesota. Give him a hand. Yesterday, some of you, not everyone will go through this, but a worthy brother in the school will get this badge of honor. The FBI came and talked to Officer Macabre yesterday. Give him a hand. Give a hand to his rib. I forget her name. Officer Macabre's rib. Some of you sisters, I don't know if you can handle this. You be done. He right here. Here you go. Get him. Who you want me? Not just get him. Officer Macabre's rib and the camp leader down there. What's his name? Minnesota. Quadash Zion. His rib. Quadash Zion's rib. Officer Macabre's rib. They hang out together. So they in the crib and Macabre just happened to be there. He in the house. All of a sudden, a knock at the door. Thump, thump, thump. Who is it? The Federal Bureau of Investigation. We need to talk to Officer Macabre of the UPK. His wife says, the FBI is at the door wanting to talk to you. He says, that's no problem. It's no big deal. Just relax. He said, listen, I'm going out with them. If I don't come back in 5 minutes, call the camp leader. He goes outside. The FBI knows him. He says, well, your organization, do you have any affiliation with the Black Panthers? Do you have any affiliation with the George Floyd movement, with the Black Lives Matter, with the IUIC? Because you know they killed some broad over in England. And they shot a transsexual in the face after they had sex. And who has not heard about what I'm talking about? Oh, this is online. He says, we are not associated or affiliated